was a marvelous moment of my life. This 1 year together, I will always remember, one of the most surprising, beautiful and happy of my life. I mean, it was like a distension, like a window open to the world. Many people, of young people, come today to the opera. They always say, we wanted so much to find out who is the woman that screams so much with Freddie. And we are very thankful to him and to you, because this way we have met two worlds coming together for the first time. One day he was saying in front of many friends, we were together, says, I love music, and she is the music. I have many proposals, many times, to do it again. Something with other colleagues and things. But, you know, has to be something very special that follows Freddie and me together. Very special.
In the early 80s, tired of stardom and the attendant invasion of his privacy, Freddie left England for a spell of exile and enjoyment. The party town that best suited his needs was New York.
I'm Reinhold Mack, and I happen to produce some of the Queen albums and one of Freddie Mercury's solo albums.
One step far away, but I'm here to stay. You can't catch me, New York.
I'm Walt Etnikoff. I was Freddie Mercury's record boss when we released his solo album, Mr. Bad Guy.
But there was also Munich, with its liberating anonymity.
Everybody knew who he was, but they also knew he didn't want to be known, so everybody would go on the other side of the street going, but they'd leave him alone.
Nobody really treated him as being the star, and didn't really want autographs or stuff, and just took him for what he was, the nice guy who was paying lots of rounds of drinks.
When I went to Rio just recently, I missed the carnival type thing, but they have Fasching over here, so I had I got into that, and my God, they do know how to boogie. They just don't stop. So I was upside down for days, but they didn't tell me that the Fasching comes to an end on Shrove Tuesday. I'd already burnt myself out about a few days before.
See what I got. I got a hell of a lot.
I live life to the full. Well, every day is Fasching for me.
You know I got what it takes.
I sort of liked him because he was very bouncy, very effusive, very enthusiastic, and, sort of drunk.
Stay in power.
I'm using the term advisedly. I think Freddie Mercury was a genius. If you're a genius, you have certain liberties which are given to you by society, and you can act a little different. You can act and you're expected to.
I got it.
And I like the music that I heard, actually, in the studio.
Let's go chasing rainbows in the sky.
You know what? The hell with it. I'll have Freddie Mercury. I won't need Queen.
It's quite outrageous, and I think it's new for me as well, because I've actually allowed an orchestra to go absolutely mad rather than restrict them. I just said, play all the notes that you haven't played in your life before, and so they were all just went completely crazy, and so there's There's basically a world war going on that track.
Mr. Bad Guy, can't you see I'm Mr. Mercury? Oh, spread your wings and fly.
Though loved by the fans, the Mr. Bad Guy album was a commercial flop.
It did about 160,000, which for another person, you know, would have been an interesting result. For an offshoot of Queen, you know, it was a great disappointment. It was certainly not among my best deals that I've ever done. Despite the fact that, you know, the thing was not a success, I'm glad we did this thing together, you know, as part of my memory bank. And the fact that it didn't work, excuse me, fuck it. I don't know if you're going to edit that out or not.
Guilt stains on my pillow.
He was absolutely genius.
Mike is an absolute genius.
I mean, I told him that many times, you're a genius, and he said...
Absolute genius.
When we were doing Hot Space, we started in Switzerland, then went on to Munich. As time went by, it got longer and longer, and people didn't show up, people went skiing. Freddie actually became the godfather of one of my children, simply because I made a bet. I just said to Freddie, I think it's easier to conceive and give birth to a child than getting this album finished. I think I won by about a week. Freddie, I mean, really took the Godfather thing terribly serious. You know, he gave him, like I said, a cutlery and teddy bears about 10 miles high and all sorts of stuff, and really constantly asked, how is he eating all right, what are you feeding him, and I mean, I think he cared more than his mother did.
New York, you're gaining on me. New York, you're just that one step far away.
In New York, you could really walk on the wild side, you know, and that was why I was here, and clearly why, you know, many other people, including Freddie, were drawn to spend a lot of time here.
New York, you're just that one step far away.
If we were going to, you know, the Saint or something in New York, he would join the queue of people to get in rather than just go to the front and just get ushered in, because he didn't want to be seen to be famous, sort of thing. But everybody would then say, oh look, it's Freddie Mercury standing in the queue.
Freddie was an adventurer, you know. We were both interested in blurring the lines, and you could do that in New York like no other city in the world. In the late 70s and into the 80s, it was really, if you want to talk about decadence, well, this was the place to be truly decadent. You could be the extreme part of your personality, and that was what was exciting about New York. Of course, that's what has killed a lot of people over the years, and nearly got me eventually, and I'm sure, you know, it was here that that Freddie contracted the illness that killed him.
Though he once thought Montreux tediously quiet, Freddie's increasing appreciation of its tranquil beauty led him from the late 80s onwards to buy a flat there and occupy his time with its decoration. This distracted him partially from the far more serious matter at hand. Though they all heard about it in different ways,